Hi everyone, we're going to look at some GCSE history, looking at the American West. I'm going to look at some changes in farming and settlement, specifically farming and the cattle industry. So let's start learning. So farming in the West was very different. People started to use new methods and technologies to get by. Dry farming. This was used to conserve water in the soil. It was common to plough soil straight after it rained. Dry farming was considered the best method for homesteaders looking to grow wheat. It turned the plains into America's wheat region. Barbed wire. So this was a convenient replacement for fences when no wood was available. When it was introduced, it was expensive and broke frequently. New techniques introduced in the 1880s improved the strength of the wire. Farmers used barbed wire to fence in their land. On the railroads, it was used to fence in the tracks. So railroads used barbed wire for fencing the tracks. So what's the true of the new farming methods in the West? Barbed wire replaced fence, correct. And then it turned into America's wheat region. And also it was considered the best method for homesteaders. Cattle ranching took off in the 1870s. So much money was invested into the industry that it became overstocked. There were too many cattle. Overstocking meant there were various issues. So there was overgrazing and a lack of grass because there were so many cows there that they ate all the grass and there was none left. And there was too much beef available. So they were producing too much beef. So this meant that it became really cheap and prices dropped. So this is bad for farmers because they're not making as much money. So in the winter 1886 to 87, 15% of cattle died because of deep snow. Many ranchers and cowboys also died in the difficult conditions on the open range, as there wasn't much shelter. And after the winter, ranchers moved to similar pastures with smaller herds. At the end of the open range. After the winter, ranchers enclosed their land and brought animals inside during bad weather. Ranchers concentrated on better breeds to produce higher quality meat. This helped cause prices to rise again. Cowboys' lives became duller. They tended to cattle, mended fences, and maintained the land and buildings on the enclosure. So, in the winter of 1886 to 87, in the West, 15% of cattle died because of deep snow. What happened in the winter in the West? So ranchers put animals inside because of bad weather. They concentrated on producing higher quality meat, and farmers, who was it that tended to cattle? Cowboys tended to cattle, mended fences, and maintained the land. Which crop grew well in the West? That was wheat. Which of the following are true of the cattle industry in the West? Beef prices fell because of overstocking. In the winter, many of them died on the open range. And after the winter, the ranchers moved to smaller pastures. And we're finished.